Hello, my lovelies. How you doing? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope everyone is having a fantastic day wherever you are in this world. As always, you may have already heard about this. It's trending. It's viral at the minute on TikTok, on the TikTok streets, and that is the Texas Roadhouse staple incident.
As you didn't, because if you would have took a bite that had the staples in it, how the heck? Staples in bread?
So we're going to be guiding you through it, where a 6-year-old was literally given a bread roll at a Texas Roadhouse, okay, given a bread roll, bit into it, when ow, discovered there was literally a row of staples, not used staples, quite literally a row of staples within the bread roll. Now, following on from this, we have investigations that are underway. There have been news reports of there being a whole investigation team that's in there, to the point where now Texas Roadhouse have actually issued an official statement. The whole thing is a complete and utter mess. We have a lot of updates to get through, so I'm going to guide you through what initially happened and what has now happened as a result. Maya, who is up here, Maya or Maya, I'm never entirely sure how to pronounce Maya. I'm going to go with Maya today. So we have Maya, who's up here, and she goes with her mum and her 6-year-old sister to a Texas Roadhouse. Now, they say that they are like Texas Roadhouse's biggest fans. They've been going there since Maya was little. They know the menu left, right, up and down. They love it. They've been there, and they've never had a bad experience up until this point.
We open the bun to find staples. We find staples like baked into the bread. Like,
Yeah, thanks goodness she didn't bite the whole bite.
right, because that could have been, literally staples could have been in my sister's throat right now.
Now, ironically, how I came across this incident was because there was a whole separate TikToker, this woman comes on and she says, "You'll never guess what I overheard and saw at this Texas Roadhouse." And she explains the situation from from an outside party observation.
I might have witnessed the actual craziest thing I have ever seen at a restaurant in my entire life last night. So right around 7:30 last night, my fiance and I got to Texas Roadhouse in Walpole, Massachusetts, and we're seated at a table, and almost immediately when we're seated, we can tell there's some sort of issue going on at the table directly behind us. The little girl bit into a roll, and there were multiple staples in the roll.
Now, if that already wasn't bad enough, the fact that this 6-year-old may have already have ingested this bread, right, may have ingested some of these staples, literally said, ow. I mean, awful. What the hell is going on here? I've seen a lot of comments where people are saying that they actually make the bread there. I've never been to a Texas Roadhouse, so cannot comment. A lot of people saying that they've worked there, and yeah, the bread, they make it there. Maybe there was a chance of staples, the bag, the dough, the whatever, being ripped open and then the staples falling in. For me, and also for Maya and her family, that makes zero sense because they would have been used staples. This was like a whole row. You know, you get them in the packs and then you put them in. These were unused.
When they're making the bread, that it's possible they ripped the bag open, the packaging of the bread or whatever in the kitchen, and that staples could have got into the bread mix or whatever. But then here comes Deanna saying, yeah, we don't have staples. I mean, so which one is it?
Which one is it? Do y'all bags got staples or do they not?
Now, Maya and her mum were very, very smart with this one. They started recording the conversation between, I believe it was the waitress, it might have been a first manager, I'm not entirely sure. The first woman who comes over and then the manager who comes over. The first woman who comes over says, "This is completely ridiculous, you know, I'm gonna comp your full meal, da 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 da." And Maya and her mum are happy with that. They were not after a free meal, as they say. They literally just want this resolved. And they were also worried that there might actually be staples in other people's breads, you know what I mean? Tell me why. She goes and gets the manager or the second manager, whoever, whatever, who she is. She then comes over and she says, I just don't feel I'm comfortable with fully comping your meal because there was no injury.
So we just had one question because we were told by the previous manager that we did speak to that the entire meal would be comp. So we were just kind of curious as to where it went from comp to this one to comp. But she said the entire meal would be taken care of. Okay. She doesn't feel like that's what she had said, so I can certainly grab her if you like. Okay. But I'm just not comfortable comping your whole meal for something, that didn't quite, there was no injury or things like that, so that's why I took the kids' meal off, in good faith of what could have possibly been an issue,
was just
I
a
guess,
matter of
yeah, it's just
the
not
other
what
one
she
spoke
relayed.
prematurely, and that's, so it's just a matter of honor what you said.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't come with him. Even when I addressed it, I told her that we didn't, you know, we come here all the time. We don't need a free meal, but because she said that, it was just an honor what you said.
Okay. For sure. Yeah, that's not, you know, that wasn't the conversation, you know, that she had with me. So I can definitely grab her so that we can clarify that. Okay.
Yeah, it seems like
Seems
we're
like she
hearing
also
two
said that it was that the bags being the staples, and now you guys are completely contradicting each other. Yeah. So I will tell you again, I'm the managing partner. I worked for the company for 17 years, so I'm very thorough in the kitchen. She's actually not trained in to work the kitchen.
But she must know to say, then how would she even be able to speak on bags being opening? If she's not in the kitchen, how does she even know how things are prepared or what packaged is? So it seems like she knew something, and then we speak to you and it's saying the opposite of what she said. That's where we're getting frustrated at now.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What? So just because she didn't ingest the staples means that it's perfectly okay? We're just gonna move past this?
Right. Yeah, for sure. And again, that's great feedback that I can follow up with her because again, she has never worked a day in bake in her life. And you know, it is very possible that she did try and solve the issue with things that she thought that she was aware of. Hey, Crystal. They said you told them you were going to comp their whole bill. So we're not upset that you said that. Yeah, I said I would call, but I have to go check with my managing partner first. No, so I think that might.
I don't remember.
That wasn't. That wasn't. Maybe there was that's where the confusion was. So, like I said, I have documented everything. I've come what I feel comfortable with for you for tonight. And if you need anything else, I'm certainly here to answer any questions.
And as Maya and her mum were pointing out, and you can actually hear it within the video that I just shared, first woman almost backtracks from what she says, and she says, no, I said that I needed to go and get a manager. And Maya and her mum are saying, no, you never said anything about getting a manager, you just said you were going to fully comp the meal. And there was this whole backtracking situation that was going on. Not to mention also that the first lady comes over and starts talking about, oh, maybe the staples like got in the bag, like got from the dough bag or whoever, whatever, into the food. And then there was a whole entire hubbub because the manager comes over and literally states that there are 0 staples within the kitchen, right? There ain't no staples around here, which Maya and her mum are very confused about and have a lot of pictures of obviously staples being on bulletin boards.
What I'm thinking, like my speculation, is that when the cookers were making the bread, when they opened the bag, the staples from the bag ripped out and fell into the dough. So we're like, yeah, that does seem kind of logical, or maybe someone was stapling something, they got out and, just fell in the dough. She's like, yeah, like I completely agree, but this is a crazy freak accident and we're gonna comp your bill. And a second manager then comes over and then she's like, so I'm just concerned.
How did the staples get in the buns? How about you tell me? Yeah, how did these fucking staples get in my baby's bun?
And she goes, well, this is a staple-free premise, so we don't have no staples in this
But yeah,
building.
there's staples on some paperwork at a table right next to us.
Clock it, and I got photos. I'm putting every photo in this.
So Maya went to the police station and she also received a phone call from the Texas Roadhouse corporate. She also filed a complaint. The kicker is Texas Roadhouse offered her a $70 gift card.
I got a phone call bright and early this morning from corporate, Texas Roadhouse. They were made aware of the situation and I gave them all the details. I literally, at the time of the situation, I had my notes app open on my phone. I was documenting everything. Approximately this time, my sister takes a bite into this. At this time, we're greeted by this waitress. At this time, another manager. Like, you know what I mean? I have everything documented. I made sure to record to have our backs. For one, you're lying straight to our face. You're telling us you have 0 staples? 0. She was like, there is absolutely no possibility for a staple to have gotten in your bread. Okay, all right, let's just even backtrack from the 0 staples and just like, how is it that you don't have any staples, but we look at your bulletin board and there's things stapled all over that, and then there's an employee onboarding packet directly at the table across from us. Directly, I can't even make this up. I have pictures of it. I have filed a complaint with corporate on their website. I have talked to corporate on the phone and filed a complaint. They did offer I think it was a $70 gift card, and they're like, of course you don't have to use it at the same location, you're welcome to take the gift card elsewhere. No, I don't. It's not about the money. It's not. I don't want your food. I don't know.
And just like she's saying, right, I wouldn't want to eat there again because of what could have happened. I mean, what did happen? Why are there staples in the bread roll? But secondly, I wouldn't ever trust it ever again. If I have a bad experience in, if it's a chain restaurant and I have a bad experience in one of them, likelihood I'm just not going to go back to any of them. That's just me personally. Maybe that is just over the top, whatever. You kind of get like one serious strike and you're out. And for me, that is a serious strike. We're not talking about like, oh, I had like a 40-minute delay on my food, or oh, they got the drinks order messed up. You know, that could be overworked staff. That could be like mistakes happen. Mistakes are made. You know, might be understaffed, might be overworked. I can deal with that. Extreme bad food poisoning. Finding staples in your bread roll, the likelihood I'm not going to go back to any of them. Maya said as well is that they took the 6-year-old to go and get like a full scan because they're not wholly convinced that, you know, maybe a little bit got in the system.
Just because there was no injury physically at the site does not mean that my sister couldn't have gotten, you know, like what if someone pricked their finger? What if the metal that had been on that staple had been contaminated or affected before it had reached the bread? I counted 5 staples. Imagine if my sister swallowed. And just because we don't know that she swallowed or didn't swallow one doesn't mean that she didn't maybe swallow a little piece of one, or maybe her teeth didn't feel it on the way down, doesn't mean it didn't get in her system. So we're praying to God that, you know, everything comes out right after this x-ray visit or ER visit. But Texas Roadhouse, I'm on that ass.
And the funny thing is that the local news then started reporting on this whole situation. It says, Boston 25 News reached out to Texas Roadhouse, which provided the following statement. We are aware of this situation and are actively investigating. The health department visited the store today and their report states there are no signs of physical contamination in the restaurant, including the bread and kitchen areas. We take concerns like this very seriously and our team has been in contact with the guests involved. Because the thing that massively gets me, manager did try and spin this back on Maya and her mum, say, you know, like, well, I just don't understand how they got in there, almost insinuating, in fact, I think it was just flat out insinuating, that they had somehow planted the staples within the bread roll.
What if someone pricked theirself with the staples, got blood on it, and now stuck it in my baby's bun? You tell me, is there going to be an injury?
And why would we come with staples and give it to the 6-year-old out of us 3? Out of me, my mom, and my little sister, why would I put staples in the bread that she was going to eat? If I wanted to get the money, do you think I would give it to her? What? No. And if Deanna, if you have kids, if that was your kid that almost had a staple, do you think that you would be fine with getting told that you don't feel comfortable, or the waitress doesn't feel comfortable with comping your meal? Nah, like, you guys are gonna get held accountable.
Even if that were the case, why would they do it to a 6-year-old? I need the CCTV cameras. I believe Maya and her mum like wholeheartedly, but I want to see some CCTV camera action in the kitchen. I want to see the moment in which the child realised. I want to see the whole entire thing. I'm guessing that they do have CCTV cameras in the kitchen. I'm guessing so. Everywhere where I've ever worked, they do. And then Maya then goes on to say that she's not going to be talking about any of these legal proceedings. As we can see from the Texas Roadhouse statement, yeah, there has been an investigation underway. They didn't find anything, but you need to check the CCTV. Surely that would be an easy thing to do, no? But yeah, she says that no staples were found in the 6-year-old. That obviously that is a positive result. But she said that, yeah, she's not going to be talking about legal findings, but she is just utterly disgusted, particularly at the way that the waitress and also the manager handled all of this. They were really trying to cover their asses. Jobs are scarce nowadays. Jobs are scarce. Over here, definitely scarce. I've heard that in the States, also definitely scarce. As everywhere, underpaid. Protect the road. I need to see the CCTV.
They can check the cameras. In fact, that's what we want them to do. And as for an update on my sister, she did receive clear x-ray results, so there was no staple found inside, nowhere, luckily. But goodness. That was literally by the glory of God. Like I said, she bit onto that staple. We are so happy that it did not get any further than just, the tip of her tongue and her teeth. First manager had explained when she said that it could have been possible that a bag was opened and the staples fell. those would have been used staples. The staples found in my sister's bread were not used. They had not been used to secure anything. They have not been punctured in paper. They have not been used. So those stories can't even align. It does not make sense. Check the cameras. They need to check the cameras. I don't know what, Deanna, I don't know what you're trying to hide. I don't know what bonus you're trying to save, but come on, baby.
And just like what I was saying with the two women who were arguing and saying that, you know, being a little bit sneaky suspicious about the fact that Maya and her mum could have planted those staples in there, just as they were saying that, there's been a lot of people on the internet also accusing them, saying that this is like really well rehearsed, and that maybe they did have something to do with it. I have seen a lot of comments saying the same thing. Personally, don't believe that to be true. That's just my own opinion. That's just someone that's been following it.
It's not necessarily about the money. And I have come across some comments that were saying that this was well rehearsed and that, you know, it's kind of funny or odd that our bread was the only one that had staples. If you think it's odd, don't you think I think it's odd?
But like I've already said, why would they plant that in the 6-year-olds? Surely if it was a, you know, plant of some sort, they wouldn't do it for the child, they do it for themselves. I need to see the CCTV. If you had swallowed these staples, that could have done some serious damage. And to say that, you know, there's no staples on the premises, yet you have staples on the bulletin board and you have no, not having it. Like most places, most establishments use staples to staple things on boards or to staple things together. That is having a pair of staples in a restaurant. Yeah, I would totally expect that. So for them to say, oh, there's absolutely no staple activity going on in this Texas Roadhouse really doesn't make any sense to me.
Oh, and just as I'm editing, the woman that I shared at the very beginning of her being this like third party observer, she actually saw this go down. She's been getting a lot of flack as well, with people telling her, no, you're lying, are you in on this together with them, and all of this kind of stuff.
Family seemed like they were holding their own, attempting to resolve things on their own, because they clearly didn't want to make a big scene. I didn't even want to make a video about this in the first place, but at the same time, I have a little sister the same age as the girl, and if this happened to her, I would be furious and looking for any possible witness to back me up and amplify her voices. Now, people are twisting my words, saying that I said I didn't hear anything even though I witnessed the incident. I said in my comment on the original video that we didn't hear much, but that doesn't mean what we did hear wasn't crucial. Did I actually see the little girl bite into the roll? No. I'm not gonna lie and say I did just to prove a point. There's cameras for that. But what I did witness was the kid expressing that there was something hard in the bread, and that something was a bunch of staples.
But yeah, that is the update, and I'm sure, as Maya said, that there are going to be more updates as well, but that is all I've got at the minute. The investigation is underway. No food has been contaminated. CCTV, I strongly request that we manage to get that out. Pretty much all I had to say for you guys today. I hope you guys have a wonderful day wherever you are in this world. Take care of each other, take care of yourselves, and I will catch up with you guys in the next video.